Okay, so reactions to these games in the Western Conference. So now we have first game on Saturday. We have the Dallas Mavericks playing against the LA Clippers in LA, and the Mavericks walked in and snatched a chain. It's one of those situations where we all made the joke that the Clippers were purposely tanking to play against the Mavs instead of playing against the Lakers, which they lost to the Houston Rockets and the Oklahoma City Thunder in the freaking last 2 games of the season, which they should not have. I don't even care if it was their backups playing. This is a playoff team. There's no reason for them to lose to those teams who were literally playing kids that shouldn't have a chance of winning that type of game. Now, because of that, we have the Mavs and the Clippers matchup, which is basically a revenge from last year. Luka had a really good year. The last playoffs was his coming out, I guess you could say, in which he was actually the favorite for the MVP. People were calling him MVP immediately. Didn't get it, of course, because of Nikola Jokic playing good, and I'll talk about him a little later. But Luka's on a revenge tour. And it's even beautiful. Go watch the video. There's a video of him basically bodying Patrick Beverley. And after he scored and got fouled, he basically yelled out, "You're too effing small." Gave it to him. And he was going for it the entire time. If you watch the way the rotations were, Luka Doncic was going after him. Luka was in his bag in that one. He wanted all the smoke in that game. He wanted every single bit that you could give him. And it was beautiful watching him ball the way he was balling. That concerns me about the Clippers. It concerns me. I'm 100% concerned about them as a team. Paul George, of course, starts off as Pandemic P, and then as the jokes start to fly, and then we got Playoff P later on, and then I think it kind of reverted back to Pandemic P. Kawhi's going to be a free agent at the end of this, and I sense that it's going to be a, hey, either you trade him or I'm out, because this team is not championship caliber. Kawhi seems like he's been regressing in the playoffs lately. He's been having these moments. He was 9 for 22 and 1 for 6 from 3. I mean, he added like almost 10 rebounds in the game, but he did not look like a Kawhi Leonard that we are used to. Finals MVP Kawhi Leonard, the one that led Toronto Raptors to a championship. This does not look like him. That team is set up to where if one of those two don't go off, they do not win. They have no chance. They have nobody else to go off. Of course, national TV Rondo was doing his thing, knocking down threes and stuff, but he can only do so much. Rondo's not going to give you 40. And I like Rondo, but he's not going to give you 40. Luka was out there like, I want it. And I mean, Kawhi gave us some flashes of greatness when he dunked on, was that Maxey Kruber? He kind of dunked all over him, and it was, in the face that he gave. But the problem with Kawhi is a quiet guy, and I think Paul George needs more of a guy that's vocal. And the way this looks, there's no chance that Paul George comes back next year unless they get past the second round. Listen to me right now. If the Clippers do not make it out of the second round, not even just the first, but the second, Paul George will be traded. He will be gone. 0 point on purpose of keeping him on that team with Kawhi Leonard. If they couldn't do it right now with them two, and Patrick Beverley is having probably the best defensive wing setup, perimeter defenders in the league. They can't do it. If they can't do that, there's no point in keeping the team together. Cut it out. So I'm going to go say in this one, the Mavs win it in 6. I initially had the Clippers, but I think it's going to be Mavs in 6. Game 1 was enough for me to see that I think the Mavs will eventually pull this out, because Luka is for real on a revenge tour, and I think this will be just enough to get him out of the first round for the first time and move him on. Now, I hope the Clippers prove me wrong, because I really want the Clippers and Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. I really want the Battle of LA there. I really want that so bad. But if they're playing like this against the Mavs, and the Mavs isn't a bad team, it's just they're not supposed to be as good as the Clippers, I'm concerned about them, period.